So what improvements might be decided. So if you want to develop this future map looks something like this. Now takt time we have calculated. We know that pieces, 18,000 pieces and 12,000 and 6,000. So this is what we know. And here is a takt time. And takt time we said it is a 60 seconds, right? Now we have to decide whether to build it to finished goods supermarket or directly to shipping. So we are having a supermarket here. This symbol is of supermarket. And we are saying, okay, we will have 2 days of inventory against whatever days that was there before. Okay, I don't remember that. And we will have so much of left here, so much of right here. So we will build it to shipping. This means we are building to finished goods supermarket. And from finished goods supermarket, we will be taking and shipping to the customer. And then how will we start building the future state? So the customer pulls from the supermarket. So whenever customer order comes, I have the supermarket, like you go to the mall, right? In the mall, some products are there. I take it and give it. Similarly, my production, what they do is they will produce and put it in the supermarket. Okay, how much should be the supermarket size? We will see. Now you see, these people have worked on the layout and they said, welding is separate, assembly is separate. We also said when they discussed with the team, they said, why should the 2 welding stations be separate? Let them bring it. And somebody said, why should the 2 assembly stations be different? Let them bring it. And the third person says, we can bring all of that together, welding plus assembly together. And hence, welding plus assembly became one single station. So there are no inventories between them. There is only one inventory, which is the supermarket after welding plus assembly. If this is continuous flow, like the second question or third question we asked, where can we establish continuous flow? And this is where they had, when continuous flow is established, the inventory keeps flowing, it doesn't stand in one place. On the stamping, so they have put a supermarket before this inventory, before this welding plus assembly, or after the stamping, and before the stamping, they have coils as a supermarket. And this coil supermarket is also a particular, their reduced inventory. So parts are available in the supermarket, and whatever they want the parts, they can. So in burner industry also, I'm sure you will have a supermarket concept. So we should have supermarket of these parts so that they can perform these operations and then move ahead. And in normal industries also, we have supermarket concepts where we should put items in supermarket. But the rules of the supermarket is something that we should fine tune so that we do not have stockouts in supermarkets. So all of them should be geared up. And what is the trigger or mechanism by which we are filling the supermarket? That's where we are going to talk about Kanbans, that is a signboard, a signaling, anything that signals and says that I want this. So we'll calculate the production lead time and value added time. So instead of 5 days of coil, I think they have talked to the suppliers and reduced it to 1.5 days of coils. So now all this, so this is the future state that is shown. It is not actually done, but the team has conceptualized and put on paper that it could be done like this. Are you clear about this? Improvement is still not done. They have put a future state map. We will have a supermarket here. We will combine these 2 welding process, assembly process into a single layout, and all that is put on paper as a blueprint. And after that, decide where the production will be leveled. Very important. So they said that we will not put the leveling at any pacemaker or something. We will give this leveling in the finished good shipping box, where we will tell them in what sequence should you ship. That is what is the leveling box here. The leveling box is also called Haijunka in the lean terminologies. So what increment of work will we consistently release? Production pull systems, and in order to make that happen, the future state happen, we need to have this what is called as Kanban cards. Kanban cards are nothing but A currency. I give you a currency, you give the material. Instead of currency, I give you a card, you give me that material. How much material should I give you? It is written in that card. And who will decide how much quantity should be written in this card? Who will design this card? It is decided by the team in the Gemba on what is practically workable based on the cycle times and things like that. There is a calculation for quantity of Kanban cards. Okay, there is a way in which you can calculate the work in progress inventories. It's called as SWIP, Standard Work in Progress Calculations. And the symbol for representing that, a production Kanban is written like this. A withdrawal Kanban is like the crossed one, okay? And the batch Kanban is like the inverted triangle. And then this is called as a Kanban post and so on and so forth. So this is just a visual management. Kanban post is you'll have to see here, and then accordingly they'll use it for planning. So here they say that reduce the changeover times. You have to reduce the changeover times here, improve the quality in these areas, move the equipment into the workflow, because movement of equipment, when you are making it as a cellular, you'll have to do that, reduce downtimes, implement full production flow systems and all that. I thought the session will end early, but it's taking the normal time. Now, I just wanted to show how once you do this value stream mapping, how it can appear on your wall. Okay, we'll have a big wall in which I'll show you with you some pictures of, we've done more than 50 plus value streams, and it'll be amazing to see the amount of information that comes after everybody works as a team. Okay, so in the future state map, there are 3 steps which are very, very important, and people generally jump into actions rather than following these 3 steps. And what are these 3 vital steps? GTW, general preparation, training, and workshops, workshop action. Now, in general preparation, you need to be very clear about when you're going to launch the project and what projects to be launched. And introduction campaigns, you need to be clear about management training, how the project is going to be organized, targets, and you will have to have project plans. And these are all, this doesn't need explanation. Okay, and training, you should have a kickoff for employees, then deployment of development of teaching materials and training on Kaizen tools, so that when they actually deploy, they are very, very conversant what we are doing. And then workshop action is actually Gemba. You go and do it in Blitz Kaizen workshop style. Okay, Blitz Kaizen workshop style is now that the plan is given, training is given, everything we have, now is the time for action, like commandos, tuck, 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 go and change everything. So you can have an SMED workshop, full flow workshop, and things like that. All right, so this is how, after all this representation using the future state mapping icons, this is how you can represent, so that whenever team is actually implementing the shop floor, they can come and refer the sheet and say that, okay, this is what we said. We'll have, here we have full production Kanban, here we have withdrawal Kanban, here we'll have Kanban post and stuff like that. Okay, so the current state versus future status, you have to highlight to the team, okay, now that we had 23.6 days in the current state, it will go to 4.5 days, 81% production. Every time a company quarters its lead time, it can expect to double its productivity and reduce the cost by 20%. It's what James Womack told in his book. So the key point is value stream management, value stream cost tracking, and visual management, and review of the future state mapping. The cost tracking is also important. How much cost we will incur when we transition from current state to the future state, and what are the visual management that we will put into. And value stream manager, in lean terminology, there is no plant manager. If there are 3 product families, there will be 3 value stream managers.